Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your sexy ranch hand co-host Kalder and Simeon. This episode, we're going to be talking about all the cool stuff that Scott Porter unboxed this last week. I know last episode we were Monday of his unboxing, and now we get to talk about the other 4 days, including the legacy cards and our overall thoughts so far on the Batman team-up set. Episode 444, howdy, let's get rowdy.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional...
Heroclix?
No.
Are you serious? Again? How many people even play this game? Like 100?
Instant deadpan humor.
Over six people think I am funny.
It's the hard day's work. Not that you know anything about that. Which,
Absolute fools, it's not.
Witcher nonsense.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever. Are you kidding me?
Hey Google, back symbol.
Let's attack Simeon because he's a jerk.
Wow.
Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Joining me like always in the studio is Simeon Bruce. What's going on, my man?
Oh, just sleigh bells jingling, streets need cleaning, something.
Tingling too. Yeah, all right on. Holly jolly spirit is all around us this holiday season. What made you happy this last week?
What made me happy this last week was extended family did a Christmas get-together. So for a lot of them, I can't remember what the circumstances were this Thanksgiving. Oh, that's right. I got deathly ill. Couldn't walk. There was going to be like a get-together, or there was. They didn't cancel on my account. But there was a get-together for, I think I got sick that Friday, and it was like Saturday. So I didn't get to see any of them since like this time last year. Would have been like a lot of like
Wow.
when I saw most of them last. So it was cool seeing a lot of like family and stuff. All of my younger cousins are now like engaged and stuff, and so that's just wild to me. It's like,
It is, wow.
you were once tiny little babies, and now you are all, I don't know, getting married, I guess, is the only thing I can really follow that up with. But yeah, it's just, it's cool seeing, obviously, times change, people get older, and just like life events, that kind of stuff. It's always fun to catch up.
Well, how dare they? Cool. No, it's always good to catch up with the fam, especially when you haven't seen them in a long time. It is always wild where it's like that. Meet them, like, oh yeah, not meet them, but you see them again after a while, or after a year, and it's just like, years kind of start to all together, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, what? You're engaged to somebody? What the heck? I didn't know you were dating somebody, bro. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's wild because one cousin, like specifically in my mind, was just like perpetually 13 for some reason. And then all of a sudden it was like, graduated college, married. What? Like,
It doesn't make sense.
yeah, just like
It's a
suddenly.
really impressive 13-year-old.
Yeah. Suddenly, like after all these years, I'm finally like, that's right. You also age. Like for some reason, you were just stuck in my mind permanently at whatever. But yeah, it is fun. For whatever reason, my mind does that.
No, that's funny. What are the Bruce family traditions? What was the...
Oh, this is
Eat
not
meal?
Bruce family. No,
Oh, no? Oh,
Bruce
never mind.
family I have not seen in, oh boy.
Oh, okay.
When did Grandma Bruce die? A
Oh.
while ago. Like quite a while ago. I think it's
For
been
mine.
about 5 years. No, this is my mom's side.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Right
We
on.
rent out this. We're not like a huge family. Like we are, but we don't all gather. So,
Okay.
obviously, some of the older kids and grandkids and whatever do their own holiday stuff. There's like multiple family split offs. So it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. My mom and then all of her brothers and her one sister, and then all of their kids for the most part. But again, like half those kids don't show up, so we get like a good 20-ish, maybe 30-ish people, like a good
Okay,
like
right on.
what would you call it? WKO sized gathering. And
It's about the size of WKO, yeah.
yeah, we just do food, and everybody makes different stuff. I made lemon bars.
Okay.
They're pretty tasty. They're a little too gooey, but they came out good.
Okay. A good lemon bar. Like a good lemon bar.
Secret to lemon bars? It's like 3 cups of sugar. That's why it tastes good.
Oh.
it's a shocking amount of sugar. But no.
Right on. What made me happy this last week? Not what made me happy, but was the crux or catalyst for the things I did do that made me happy. We got a pretty insane blizzard, and we were snowed in. We're still kind of snowed in, really. We can't get any vehicles out right now for almost a full week now. So I've been just stuck inside the house. It was pretty good. I lucked out. I was already back home, snowed in, and thankfully, and I really am so thankful for this, my parents were not here when we got snowed in. Instead, they got snowed in at my brother's house while they were there hanging out with him, which means it was just me and my little brother to be way more chill, way more relaxing, snowed in. We didn't, worry too much about cleaning the house or getting things done, that if maybe mom or dad were here, they would have been like, rabble, 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 we got all this time on our hands.
If you're stuck inside, you might as well be doing stuff inside. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So instead, I got to watch a lot of movies, play a lot of video games, work on some props and stuff that I wanted to work on, etc., etc. Play some Snap, do whatever, and then it's so weird that every day waking up. Some days I'd wake up at 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm not even a real person, man. I got nothing to be, nowhere to go. Time is an illusion, stay up till 2 a.m. What does it matter? Who's going to stop me? Well, we did run out of bread, and I was like, man, I know we're not going to run out of food, but we might run out of, food I like to eat here for a while. That might not be very fun. No, I had a grand old time being snowed in. Probably the favorite thing I did was I made the chicken breast tender things that instead of normal breading and frying them in oil or whatever, you use cornflakes as breading. And they actually turned out pretty good. They were pretty tasty. I used whatever hot sauce I could find. At first, I couldn't find any hot sauce, and I was like, will coating them in 57 sauce taste terrible? And then I tried it, and I was like, yes, it will. This is disgusting. So finally found some hot sauce. I sat down with my plate of food, watching whatever it was. Oh, actually the Batman Scooby-Doo Brave and the Bold movie, which was really good. And I was like, man, this is spicy. This is really spicy. And now we don't have any milk. So that's a no-go. Used way too much hot sauce, no milk. And I'm looking in the fridge we have no ranch. Am I dead? Am I going to die? Is this spice just going to run through me? And after searching and searching in the cupboards, I found a packet of make it yourself ranch, and you mix it with a cup of sour cream, and it's just this really thick ranch basically. But the powder, I was like, all right, it tasted just like ranch after I mixed the powder with the sour cream, and I was like, we all had a Merry Christmas. It's a miracle. It have ranch. I was like, I know my family is. Gosh darn it, we live in the middle of nowhere, Midwestern people. We have to have ranch.
Yeah,
exactly. We have to have ranch. I don't know why I couldn't find any. I was like, we have to have it somewhere. Otherwise, everything I know is a lie, and I'm flabbergasted. Yeah. Watched some cool movies. I watched Escape from New York. Not as good as I thought it was going to. Really hyped that one up. It was a much slower, not as much of an action movie that I had originally thought, but it was still solid. And then another Snake. Kurt Russell. Yeah, Snake Plissken.
Snake. My name's Plissken.
Plissken.
That was
very.
For whatever reason, that was
movie.
my favorite bit. Is at the beginning, I can't remember which way it goes, but at the beginning he's like, don't call me Pliskin, call me Snake or whatever, and then at the end the guy's like, Snake, you can't just walk away, and he's like, don't call me Snake, the name's Pliskin, or I don't know, he reverses it.
He flip-flops, yeah.
And I'm that Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Wily character he is. Then on kind of the flips, not really the flip side, but another Kurt Russell movie we watched was Big Trouble in Little China. Now this movie... This is awesome. This, the entire way through, I was like, I love this movie.
Had you
That's
never
when I
seen
thought
it
it
before?
couldn't get. I'd never seen it.
Oh,
No.
wow. Yeah.
I was like, wow, this movie kicks butt. Are you kidding me? It's just like a million miles an hour. It's go, go, go. Something is always happening. Half the time, you're just like, oh, I guess people have superpowers now. Or I
Yeah.
guess that's a
I
thing
guess
that can
Raiden
happen
from
now.
Mortal Kombat is suddenly here.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, what? I mean, like, man, this dude just wanted his money from winning a bet. He just wanted his truck back. He's not really even like the main character who's gonna like win, save the day. Because like his sidekick, I mean, really not even a sidekick. He's literally better than him in like everything. Actually knows martial arts.
Yeah.
Actually like fight versus like
Kato
Snake
to
is
the
like
Green Hornet. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Versus called him Snake again, but whatever. The dude in Big Chuck, Kurt Russell's character, just like points his P90 at people and like shoves it in their face as he shoots, like point, point, bang, bang. Him like missing the knife and then bad guy throwing it back, him catching it and then instantly killing him. I was like, all right, that was pretty baller. I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Like there were some pretty sick moments in it. It was just a hilarious movie that just was so good. Had great, awesome action. Kept subverting expectations, I would say, around every corner. I really had no idea what was going to happen next. And then it even has a little cliffhangery ending, which is always fun. Before he goes back to being like a podcast on the radio, trucker radio podcast man, just shouting his opinions out into the void. Pretty funny. I was like, truly a man after my own, whatever. Like, it's pretty cool. So yeah, watched some really good movies. Watched the first episode of Wednesday. I really liked it right up until they gave me an ad for the rest of the season. I was like, well, now I kind of hate this show. You made a solid first episode. You sold me on it. I didn't need it. Why did you feel the need to throw an ad in my face? That just really bothered me. And I think it's a great show. I loved the first episode. I loved everything they set up. I'm still going to watch it, but it really bothers me that they felt the need that didn't do a good enough job making a first episode, that they had to tell you almost everything that was going to happen in the season. I was like, we don't need this. Your episode was good. Believe in yourself more. Like, show looks really solid.
Highly frustrating when I'm watching a new show and at the end of like an episode, it'll be like, next time, here's the whole plot of the episode.
Yeah, I don't
that you haven't watched
need
yet.
all
And I'm
these.
just like, huh? Well, thanks.
Yeah, it kills my enthusiasm a little bit because I'm like, I like the mystery aspect. This isn't a trailer for a movie. Like, I don't need this after my first episode. Also, watched the first episode of Better Call Saul, and the amount of Omaha, Nebraska that's in it, really funny. So I'm pretty down for it. So yeah, it was a great week to watch stuff. Probably get into some other things I did later this episode, but yeah, it was fun. I made being snowed in quite a fun time.
That's good. Because if you can't have fun with it, then, you just gotta, I don't know, freeze.
Yeah. So we'll say there's one day where all the days I was waking up super late anyways, the sun was already up. But like one day I woke up at like 5 a.m. for whatever reason. My body was like, you're going to be up now. I probably spent like the first 3 hours of the morning just staring at the window like, is this it? Is today the day we've plunged into eternal darkness? Has the apocalypse finally come? Will the sun not rise today? And then at like 9:30ish, it was like starting to come up, and I was like, never mind.
There were many days last week where the sun never cracked the cloud ceiling. It just like, yeah, it was like, I know that it's out there. I can tell because it's not like pitch black out. But at the same time, I'm starting to have my doubts.
But all right, let's go ahead and jump into the Scott Porter unboxing and everything that he pulled this week. Batman Team Up. What a cool set. I'm kind of down for it, honestly, right now. Simeon and I are going to go over a figure from each rarity that Scott pulled over the set. And then after we go over all the figures, we'll kind of get into our thoughts on the set, what we think of it for sealed, or what we think of it as just a set you're going to buy from, etc., etc. So the first common I wanted to talk about is Wonder Woman. I really like her. Really like this figure. I like the point values of all the commons and uncommons. It seems like a very good sealed set and a very, very good battle royale set, which is my favorite way to play sealed. So 75 points, team player, Wonder Woman ally. She has a rally red 6. Free, remove one of Wonder Woman's rally dice to heal a friendly character within range 1 click. She has 3 range, 1 bolt. Her range is lasso based. basically. She has the Amazon, Batman family, Deity, Gotham City, Justice League, Metropolis, Trinity, and Warrior keywords. They're kind of giving everybody that's part of the Trinity every keyword that associates with them. You know, Wonder Woman, is she really Batman family? No, not really, but Batman is. You know, they gave her basically everything but like Kryptonian, but they did give her Metropolis as like the Superman keyword. So that's interesting that she also gets the Batman family and the Gotham City keyword. But anyways, packed full of keywords. She has a special attack power on her first 4 clicks of life, which is the Lasso of Truth, Knockback, Giant Reach 3, and Quake. When Wonder Woman hits, after resolutions, hit characters can't use damage powers until your next turn. I like this. I think it's very fitting for the Lasso of Truth. If we could say any power slot would be like the lying or deceptive power slot, I think it would be damage, the perplex, the outwit, the probability control. So I think that's very thematic and a really cool way to do her Lasso of Truth. That's paired with charge. She has an 8-speed charge. All the time she has charge. The last 2 clicks she gets flurry. So that's kind of cool. So you're going to want to close the gap somewhere with that charge and not totally rely on the giant reach aspect of it, but it's still really cool. She has Impervious her first 3 clicks, Super Senses her last 4. Blades, once she loses her special attack power, and then Exploit on her last 3 clicks. Flight, I think is a really fun orbitum. She also has a 50-point line where she starts with her first click of charge being her last click of the Lasso of Truth. So a 4-click line for 50 points. I don't know if I'd play 50 points for 4 clicks of just 17 Super Senses top dial, but the 75-point line leading with 3 clicks. Is it?
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, duh, the Wonder Woman ally. Yeah, you're right, duh. I forgot about that. Man, that team really haven't had to
be like okay with it is because
that's true.
Like her only defense is like a 50-50 rollout.
Right.
50 points.
It's not bad.
Amazing, but
I would say for 25, you might as well give me 3 extra clicks of Impervious and a 12 attack, though, you know.
If you have the room on the team, for sure.
Right,
that's
true.
3 and that 18 Imperv.
Yeah, I think this is just a really solidly designed Wonder Woman. A very, like, simple, yet it's a dial that feels like Wonder Woman. I really just like the Lasso of Truth power and how they did that a lot. So, hats off to you, WizKids. Great dial. Great Wonder Woman for a common. So, that is kind of my... Also, like a good common sealed pick, too, but that's the one I decided to talk about for what Scott pulled.
Definitely.
Simeon.
And I know people complain about, like, oh, can't have a DC set without Batman, can't have, like, a Marvel set without Spider-Man. Like, I get that. But this is like, as far as intro to the game goes, this is a super awesome economical Trinity set. This Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Like they all have different point lines and stuff, but if I knew somebody that just like barely knew DC comics or just like watched movies or TV shows or whatever, this would be like a solid way to like build a team for them, and it's gonna be like the newest set. So I'm gonna.
They're definitely designed. Sorry, they're definitely designed with that in mind. When you add up the Trinity, all at their top point value, they all come out to 300, which is just really cool. So
right.
I would hope to see this more. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's. And we don't really see much of them throughout the rest of the set. We that
Batman, yeah.
Yeah, we do see more Batmans for sure. I think we'll talk about one later, but yeah, just like in Wonder Woman 80th, there was like all 3 of these. Obviously, Wonder Woman was more prominently featured, but Batman and Superman also had pieces. I'm going to talk about Superman. He comes in at 150, 75, and 50 points. This is just like a real, as Superman tends to be, it seems like, real solid sealed pick, real solid like BR thing to get like even like maybe your first pick, maybe even your second pick. Because top dial, he is a 10-speed charge with flight, a 12 attack with a special attack power, an 18 defense with invincible, and 4 damage with close combat expert. So he is a 13 for 5 for 150 points. That special attack power, he has that from clicks 1 through 6, and that is Arctic Breath. When Superman hits with a ranged attack, choose one to last until your next turn. A hit target can't use stop, or a hit target gains immobile. I like both of those. It doesn't combo great with his top dial, but you can like charge, potentially knock somebody back next turn, shoot him if you want, if you really want to use this. Otherwise, I mean, top dial, he is just a 13 for 5. He has a Rally 1, I believe it's blue, so that's friendly? Yeah, friendly attack rolls of a 1. Oh, it says right here, friendly attack rolls. Jeez. I still forget how Rally works sometimes. Free, remove one of Superman's Rally dice to remove an action token from a friendly character within range. He has 5 printed range, so not too bad. It's like a auto-succeed leadership thing for rolling a 1. He has the Superman ally and the team player team abilities, so all of the Trinity will be able to copy each other's team abilities because they all have team player. Obviously, I think Batman ally and Superman ally are probably the strongest on these ones. Wonder Woman is like hit or miss depending on if you have super senses. So yeah, clicks 1 through 3. That's his charge, 12 attacks, 4 damage with close combat expert, 18 invincible. At his 75 point line, he has a essentially whole different like starting line where it's leadership, invulnerability, and running shot for 3 clicks. And he starts with an 11 for 4, so he can really make use of that Arctic breath power on these ones. Can't use stop or give a mobile, I think are both pretty awesome options. And then also just starting with leadership is always pretty decent. And then his last click, or his last 50 point line, it starts on click 6, which is the last click of his running shot in Vuln leadership, and then he goes to hypersonic energy explosion, super senses, close combat expert. So he's either energy exploding or he's an 11 for 4 on his last 2 clicks, and he has super senses. So that's like the one optimum time to like swap team ability to.
Yeah, that would be it, right? Yeah, to copy Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah. But no, I think this guy, whether you're playing him top dial, like in sealed, I think you're playing him top dial or maybe at 75 if you pull something real good. And then in a BR, you're just like, you've got a tank, you know. He's not the hardest thing in the world to take care of, but he's definitely going to be like a 13 for 5 at least once or twice.
Right on. My uncommon pick, very simple figure, but I love what she does. It's Thinks. 40 points, we get a full dial of Force Blast, a full dial of Precision Strike, Super Senses, and Prob. Across the board is Mystics, Teen Titans, 6 range, 5 mystical, and the Teen Titans keywords. He has 1 trait, which is friendly characters with Teen Titans team ability have the Mystics team ability. 40 points, you've just given all the Titans in this set Mystics, which is so gnarly. She's 6 clicks of life with Prob, Super Senses, Precision Strike. The Force Blast, sure, a little rough. But man, like Strife for 25 points. Gave, I think, characters in Foursquare's Mystics. And I think they could beat anyone. But this, like, map-wide, give all Teen Titans the Mystics team ability is really solid and just makes, like, the Titans a real force to be reckoned with. Like, Batgirl and Robin and then all these ending out of team abilities, plus there's a lot of good synergy within the Titans. So, you know, Teen Titans go and all that jazz. I do just like it, though. Like, it really works really well together. It's simple, it's fun, it's effective. Yeah. Very cute little sculpts. Hope to annoy my opponents that hate the fact that Teen Titans Go are in it. Yeah, with the chibi sculpts, it's hilarious.
I think once we get all of the ones shown, because I know we saw like Bumblebee or whatever her name is.
Oh yeah,
we saw like her sculpt, so we know we're missing a few Titans. Cyborg, I don't think we've seen him yet.
We haven't.
Once we get all of them, I think the team ability sharing and copying and like whatever stuff might be a little out of hand with everyone having stealth, everyone having mystics. There's one that gives, like, when you use Teen Titans ability, it heals all adjacent characters instead of just one. There's a lot of nutso stuff.
A lot of stuff to keep track of, which is kind of the same with like the Scooby Gang, where it's like, oh wait, did I hit? Did I get shape change this turn? It's be like a lot to keep track of.
The set is, like, from what I can tell, as far as just like if this set existed in a vacuum with no other Heroclix, there would be so many options for building from these call them? Sub themes.
Themes, yeah.
Speaking of sub themes, we've got Doom Patrol on its big return. What's his name? Brendan Fraser? No.
Whale.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
With Steel, Aquaman.
Yeah, he plays Robot Man. and so
Robot Man.
We're going to talk about Robot Man. So, yeah, Clifford Steele, the race car driver, he has improved movement, destroys blocking. He has 2-point lines, a 100-point line, and a 50-point line. Both basically start off the same. You just get a difference in stats. He has the Outsiders team ability, 0 range, 1 lightning bolt, Doom Patrol, and robot keywords. For 100 points, you get a 8-speed charge, 11 attack, super strength, 18 impervious, and 3 damage close combat expert. So he's a 12 for 4 at that top dial, and can do knockback and whatever else super strength may do in the future. He loses charge on click 2, but keeps everything else. On click 3, he gets charge back, but then gets toughness instead of impervious, and he goes to a 4 damage Battle Fury. Then on click 4, he loses charge, keeps the 11, 18, 4 with toughness Battle Fury. So it's a very symmetrical dial, because then he goes back to charge on click 5, which happens to be the starting click for his 50-point line. And that one just mirrors the first click, where he's, instead of an 8, 11, 18, 3, he's a 6, 10, 17, 3. So he's an 11 for 4 with that close combat expert, a 17 defense with impervious, has super strength the whole dial. And then it goes, no charge on the next click, but same powers, back to the Battle Fury charge click, and then back to no charge, but Battle Fury toughness, and then his last click is back to charge, super strength, impervious, and close combat expert. He has a single trait that is, for my friends, I'm an unstoppable force, and that gives him willpower. When he uses it after resolutions, you may move him up to a number of squares equal to the result. Doesn't say when he succeeds, it's just when he uses it. So every turn when you roll for willpower, you get to move quite a ways, like potentially 5 or 6 squares. Outsiders, I think, is one of the most interesting team abilities, because there's times when you might use it on yourself, like you might use it so your opponent can't PD you or whatever. Clifford Steele here, probably not going to do that because his close combat expert, but definitely getting rid of somebody's like combat reflexes or whatever by using Outsiders is pretty sweet, and I think he's a solid piece to build around and Sealed for sure.
I like it. I love seeing the return of Outsiders. One of my favorite team abilities. Good. Clifford Steele here, dude. Movement. I like it a lot. This is another like battle royale, like really good BR pick. It's like a solid Sealed pick. Again, making the set just a really fun set to play within. No, I really dig him. Getting into the rares, I kind of lost it when I saw this guy. I never knew he looked this ridiculous at any point in his life, because even in like Young Justice, is a Sportsmaster I'm talking about. In Young Justice, he just looked like Taskmaster ripoff guy, right? That's what Sportsmaster looked like. And okay, DC fans, I don't know. Maybe he came before Taskmaster. Don't know, don't care. Calm down. And then even in Batman Brave and the Bold, which uses the goofier looking versions of characters, Sportsmaster's just like buzz cut, flat top, basic looking, wearing some black type guy, throw a bowling ball at you. Like this baseball player one with the bat that shoots a baseball out of it is really funny. Sculpt is super cool. I can't wait to just add it to my collection and shelf. Big Sportsmaster fan, as you can see, but I've range, triple target, team player, as he really should be, in a team sport like baseball. 60 points. Great. They really just knocked it out of the park on keywords in the set. Assassin, Celebrity, Injustice Society, Martial Artist, Past, Secret Society of Supervillains, and Suicide Squad. Real name Lawrence Kroc, Larry Kroc here. Improved targeting, can shoot while based next to characters. Really cool. His dial is super cool. We'll get into the powers here in a minute, but he has 2 clicks of running shot, 2 clicks of charge, 2 clicks of plasticity on his 6-click dial. 2 clicks of a special attack, and then Quake, and then 2 clicks of the special attack again, 2 clicks of special defense, 2 clicks of toughness, and then 2 clicks of the special defense again, and then top dial, 2 clicks of enhancement, 2 clicks of exploit weakness, and then 2 clicks of close combat expert. So he's running shot up in your face right away, and then he's a charge, Quake, exploit, and then just keep him next to those guys, because then he's a plasticity, close combat expert piece. He has a red rally 5, When Sportsmaster makes an attack, you may replace a die in the attack roll with one of his rally dice. This is probably one of the most solid ways to use Red Rally 5, and I think a few characters have it. It's just really good. Really good. His special attack power is Dangerous Batting Practice, Incapacitate. When Sportsmaster uses it, he also deals normal damage to hit characters given an action token. So that's triple target, Incapacitate, and then deals them normal damage to hit characters given an action token, which is really nice. So I assume that's like you don't have to split the damage. They each just take 3, right?
It doesn't say
I'm pretty
deals
sure.
printed damage. So
Okay, so then if it's just normal damage, maybe it does divide it
I
up
think it
then.
would just still be split.
Yeah.
But it would also, since it doesn't say deals printed damage, it would also be affected by like shield TA or enhancement. Like
Ooh,
that kind
there
of
we
thing,
go.
I believe.
It is, yeah, and that's nice. And yeah, you can buff it up to like a 6 or something, and then them all for 2 or however you want to split it up. All right, that's pretty solid. Then his special defense power is Illegal Defensive Shift, Toughness. Choose one for Sportsmaster to use until your next turn, and that's Combat Reflexes or ESD. So, dial if you're running, shotting, whatever around, probably just going to choose ESD, the running shot, whatnot. You take a hit, charge in, you land on these last 2 clicks, it's probably going to be Combat Reflexes. It's a very well designed dial. It moves very naturally, like how you want a Heroclix dial to move, from a range-based to then a close-based dial with all the powers that, you know, properly work with those 2 like play functions for 60 points. I think he's really fun. He's not crazy, he's not competitive, he's not meta, he's not anything like that, but he is a hilarious figure to play, and I can't wait to put him on a Secret Society of Supervillains team with my Angle Men and all that fun stuff. It's going to just, I don't know, it's going to be a great time. He's a hilarious figure, it's a great sculpt. This is probably the first time we've gotten, I don't know, Sportsmaster. Let me check the old HC realm, but I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would feel, right? Yeah, he's the only Sportsmaster that ever exists. Yeah. So,
Unless you count Randy Jackson from the Sports Clicks. What were those
geez.
called? Were they called Sports
Real
Clicks?
Sportsmaster. I don't know if they were called Sports Clicks. I think they were called Sports Clicks, even though it was just
MLB
baseball.
Sports Clicks, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Major League Baseball ones. Yeah, I wonder how their dials compare to old Sportsmasters here. If he could take a few of them down. Probably. They're very old. All right. The rare I'm going to talk about, we already talked about Red X. I think he's pretty interesting. Honestly, so far the rares all look kind of solid in their own way.
Yeah.
The Brain's interesting. Mr. Freeze is probably as good as Mr. Freeze can get. Like, I feel like he's always
sadly.
invuln, outwit, running shot, some form of incap kind of thing. But I'm going to talk about good old Aquaman here. So he comes in at 150 points. 150, not 150. So 2 point lines. He's got the Atlantis, Justice League, Monster, Ruler, and Warrior keyword. I assume monster is because he's commanding a monster, not because he himself is a monster, but he has the dolphin symbol, so if he's in water terrain, you don't have to worry about range from outside of a certain distance. He has 4 range, so if they are shooting at you, you can also shoot at them if you're in water. Has the Justice League team ability. First trait he has is the King of the Seven Seas, which is at the beginning of the game, generate 7 water terrain markers anywhere on the map, which is just cool because that means even if you lose map, you'll be able to still have water terrain for him. And it just says generate 7 anywhere on the map, so you can clump them all together. You could make like a Congo line of water terrain. You can put them like strategically wherever you want. It's not like one of those things where you place 3, your opponent places 3, or anything like that. So kind of cool. Second trait is the King used the conch. So I don't know why I think that's funny. Leadership, when Aquaman uses it and succeeds, after resolutions you may generate a water terrain marker in a square within range, which is 4, or generate a tentacle bystander, max 8, in a square of water terrain within range. If a 6 was rolled, you may generate both. So you do have to hit leadership to make these tentacles that I'm going to talk about here in a second. But you start with 7 squares of water terrain that you can place. It's kind of funny that, you know, they're tentacle markers, max 8. So you can have 8 tentacles, which would be an octopus, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Octo 8, yeah. If a 6 was rolled, you may regenerate both. So what does his dial look like? It is a full dial of charge. He has 8 clicks. He goes from a 10 speed to, from clicks 2 through 7, 8 speed, and then his last click is going to be 6. All of those have charge. First 3 clicks, he has an 11 attack with Quake, an 18 defense with Invincible, and then he has a special damage power where he goes 4 damage, and then on clicks 2 through 6, he has 3 damage. But that special damage power is clicks 1 through 5, and that is Close Combat Expert, Empower, and then when Aquaman uses Empower, he may treat friendly characters with the dolphin symbol occupying water terrain as adjacent. He doesn't have to be in water terrain for that. That's just if they're friendly, if they have dolphin, and they're in water, they are considered adjacent. So map-wide Empower is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You could actually play multiple of these guys with each other, I believe, because he's not unique. So that would be a potential thing. They can all boost each other and their own tentacles, which would be that'd be a water-heavy board. I might.
Yeah, it'd be a lot, dude.
If each one of them generates 7, yeah.
6 of these guys at 50 points. Getting to the game is going to take forever. Yeah.
Let's see. His 50-point line starts right where his dial changes. So after click 3, it starts on click 4. So for 50 points, you get that charge, super strength with a 10 attack, an 18 with invuln, 3 damage with that special damage power. So again, top dial, he's going to be a 12 for 5. And the second starting click, he's still a 13 or still at 11 for 4. And then he keeps that special damage power on his next click down, which would be click 5. His last 3 clicks, he goes charge blades, close or combat reflexes, and then he loses that special damage power and just gets regular empower. So these tentacles that he generates, they of course have dolphin symbol. They have plasticity with 0 speed. They themselves have empower. They have a 17 defense, and then they have a special attack power with a 10 attack. That is, if tentacle doesn't occupy water, or no, that's the trait. If tentacle doesn't occupy water terrain, KO it. Special attack power is Quake, and then giant reach of 3. So they're not giant themselves, but they do have essentially a 3 range punch. And they have Quake, and then Aquaman's potentially giving them empower. Well, he is, because if he's on the map, they have to be in water terrain to be on the map. So these guys are always going to be at a 3 damage minimum, because otherwise they're just KO'd. And then they also all have empower, so if you group a bunch of these together, they could potentially be up to 5 damage with giant reach of 3 and Quake. Pretty cool. I think this is going to be a really fun rare. He's not so much of a powerhouse in sealed. He is a 12 for 5 top dial with Invincible, so I can't say that he's like a bad.
I mean, it's solid.
Yeah,
Deep dial, 8 clicks of life, you know.
Yeah, he's a little hard to take down. I don't think you're going to be able to pop off with the tentacle bystanders a lot in sealed. You might be able to get a couple out, but I don't know. I don't know how long a game you'd have to play to get 8 on the board. I want to try it for sure.
Yeah, it'll take a while, right? But I don't know. I like him a lot. I think as far as like thematicness goes and how like solid the dial is, this is probably our best Aquaman.
Yeah.
We've gotten in a long time. I mean, last time we got was like JLU, and he was just kind of like whatever, generic water stuff. But like this one feels really cool. Like I really like this one. I think if you're an Aquaman fan who, typically, sadly, he's a big member of the Justice League, but he's not part of the Trinity, so we don't get him every single set or multiple versions. We're lucky if we get like one version every DC set, if that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you're an Aquaman fan, you can't complain. This is a really solid dial. Like I really like it.
A ton of fun. Like.
Oh yeah, super
I love
fun.
Characters that generate stuff. I like the way that he interacts with the ones that he makes. Yeah, and I think playing multiples, and if you for whatever reason have a bunch of the uncommons from 75th anniversary where he's like riding on a tentacle.
There you go.
Like you've got an option to make some bystanders out of those or something.
Easy.
But yeah, also in sealed, he is just straight up a traded leadership piece. So that's like probably worth it just for that extra action that he's bringing to the table. There is no autonomous on the tentacles.
The tentacles,
so,
yeah, it's a bummer.
Sadly, even if you do have 8 on the board, you're at most attacking with 4. But they are, plasticity tie-up pieces. So
next up, going to the super rares here, we're going to talk about the Green Lantern Batman that we saw. This is a repaint / retooled version. This is Prime of the normal super rare Batman. It's really cool. We get a 100-point Batman here. He also has a 5-point line. Wow, 5-point line. So he has
wild 25-point line.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh wow, okay, there we go. Guess so. His 5 clicks of running shot, followed by 2 of phasing. His last 2 clicks 6 and 7. That is his 5-point line. So first 5, it's all running shot. It's all a special attack power. He actually has that in his entire dial, and it's a defense power on the first 5 clicks. 2 clicks of outwit, 2 clicks of perplex, 2 clicks of outwit, and then 1 last click of perplex. On his last 2 clicks, he also has barrier to start his 25-point line. 7 range, Batman ally, Green Lantern core team abilities. He has flight, and then Batman family, Cosmic, Detective, Gotham City, Green Lantern Corps, Herald, and Justice League. Real name, Who'da Thunk, Bruce Wayne. Another cool thing about this character, we're seeing a lot of objects in the set. We've seen, mostly just lanterns, constructs, the rings, all that stuff. And he says he may have both the utility belt and the Green Lantern ring assigned and equipped at the same time. So this does at least confirm the utility belt as an object, which is really cool. So I'm excited to see that.
It is weird. The collector number is 001 on utility belt and then immediately 002 Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, so I think that might be the only Batman object in the whole set.
It could be, because then we have...
If it just goes up to rings at that point?
Are 005 for orange, 006 for red, 007 for indigo, and 008 for star sapphire. And then we start getting into the constructs. So there is let's see, got green, orange, so we still need blue. I don't know, we still need a few other ones.
Right.
Blue, orange.
Blue, yellow.
Or no, I said orange. Yeah, blue, yellow. Those might be 3 and 4 right there. So utility belt startup could be the only non-ring object.
That's a rough one, Batman fans. Hopefully it's really good. I assume it's a power of some kind. I feel like it has to be if it's the utility belt, but no speculation. But now we know he has the whole willpower ability that the Green Lantern ring gives him, so keep that in mind. Because his special defense gives him invincible and willpower, so now it's a 4/6 willpower. Batman uses willpower and succeeds. After resolution to modify his combat values +1 until your next turn. So, top tile, he's a 10, 12, 18, 4. If he succeeds at willpower, and he has a 50-50 shot at willpower, he is then an 11, 13, 19, 5, all on his own. 50-50. Are you kidding me? That's freaking awesome. So that's a dope special power. I really like that. I will say, probably the only bummer thing about any of his styles is there's no protected outwit, so try to keep him stealthy and whatnot. His special attack power he has, his entire dial, is the Flock of Green Bats. Smoke Cloud. Smoke Cloud is free, but only to generate 1 marker. Opposing characters occupying or adjacent to Batman's Smoke Cloud can't use improved movement abilities, and must break away as if they were adjacent to Batman. Batman doesn't necessarily have any plasticity or anything, but to be able to shoot out a free piece of smoke and make someone have to break away from that, or a group of people have to break away from that, is a super awesome ability. I really dig it. Keep in mind, he's also dropping constructs and all this fun stuff. And then at the 25-point line, it's just a very economic version. He doesn't have the defense. He just has barrier. He has the smoke cloud ability, and he can still start with the Green Lantern ring and the utility belt, and he has a 25-point little outwit. Still Green Lantern core team ability, so he's a 7-speed phasing to carry. Not nothing. Not the best prime at 25 points, not what I would use it on, but the 100-point one, I think we'll see quite a bit of at least casual play. Again, awesome sealed pick, freaking dope battle royale pick. He'll be just bang, you're dead, 13 for 5 without wit. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he's gnarly. Definitely. So yeah, hopefully you pull one of the objects too with sealed. That's a great booster. I don't think Scott pulled either one of those in the booster.
It doesn't seem like the objects are tied to any specific booster or figure.
Yeah.
Which is, I would say, would be bad, except for the fact that it kind of leaves the objects to have a flat rarity, where they can put it a super rare, quote unquote, super rare object in a rare pack. And then also, he pulled 4 rings, and I mean, obviously constructs in every pack, but yeah, he pulled 4 rings altogether, which is pretty good for a brick to get 4 objects.
It is really solid. Out of the 7 lantern core, so in
Yeah.
one case, you probably get them all.
I have no idea what the utility belt will do. Like in previous years, the like weapon drop and like utility belt has been like more of a pick a power kind of thing, or like access to several powers. If I was gonna guess, just like throw something out there, I would say it might work with like Smoke Cloud. Might do like some sort of bonus thing to Smoke Cloud.
Okay.
Because he has invincible willpower, and then he's got like a thing that helps his willpower, and we know the Green Lantern ring already helps willpower, so he's got a 50-50 shot for +1 combat values and removing an action every turn, which is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe utility belt like offers maybe not like outwit protection, but like some sort of boost to stealth or Smoke Cloud. I don't know. That would just be my general guess, because I really don't know, and I don't think they're going to quite go with the standard choose one of these power things. That just seems kind of lame, but who knows? We haven't seen it yet. It might be a while until we see it. All right. The super rare that I am going to talk about is the only other one that we hadn't seen yet, and that is Fatality. So Fatality is coming in with the Star Sapphire. Yeah, that's the team, the color construct, whatever. So she's got Injustice League, Secret Society of Supervillains, Sinestro Corps, Star Sapphire. Oh, I didn't even... She's both. She has a Star Sapphire.
That's interesting.
So I guess maybe she was a Star Sapphire and then Star Sapphire, or was Sinestro Corps and then swapped at some point. You know, lanterns tend to switch out rings occasionally. And then also Warrior keyword. So that will make... that's cool. I think she was one of the first characters that we've seen that would be able to equip like or get the boost from
it could be both
the yellow ring and like, you know, the pink ring or whatever. Has improved targeting, hindering. She's got 6 range, 1 lightning bolt, and the Mystics team ability, which I believe Scott pulled Star Sapphire ring, and that boosts Mystics. Yeah, so it's Mystics.
Oh, nice.
If this character already has Mystics, when they use it, the damage dealt is unavoidable instead. So it's old school Mystics.
Good.
And then obviously the power and free thing. It says Violet constructs, but yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Star Sapphire constructs. So that's her first trait is when Fatality uses Mystics after resolutions, modify her attack and defense +1 until the end of your next turn. You don't really get a choice when you use Mystics. It just happens, or it doesn't when you get attacked. But the unavoidable will definitely be beneficial if she's equipped with that ring. Her next trait is nothing crueler than a lover spurned. Mind control. When Fatality uses it after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each target missed by mind control, which is real fun. If you don't hit them with mind control, then they just take 1 pen. It's like a reverse version of like feedback almost. That's fairly simple for the 2 traits. Her dial is 7 clicks long. She has 2 starting lines. So at 75, she's 7 clicks long, and then at 50, she starts on click 4. Either way, she is starting with essentially the same kind of setup. So a full dial of shape change, 5 clicks of charge, 5 clicks of a special attack power. Her first 3 clicks are combat reflexes, and then her last 4 clicks are super senses. So that bottom dial, if you start her at 50, she has a double rollout with super senses and shape change. And then top dial, she's a 20 for close, combined with her flight and charge. Pretty solid. Her special attack power that she has through from clicks 1 through 5 is Taste My Spear. Blades, Claws, Fangs, Precision Strike, and Giant Reach of 2. So it gives her, that's 6 speed with the charge, and then an extra 2 squares that she can reach out and taste the rainbow, I guess. But yeah, so you've got Blades. She's got printed 3 damage from clicks 1 through 5 with that Blades power. And then when she hits clicks 6 and 7, she goes to Plasticity, Blades, Super Senses, Shape Change. So you still have Blades, which is good because you drop down to 2 damage. And then she's got Plasticity to keep people around for a little bit longer. But yeah, I like this piece. I think the traded mind control and then just, 6 range combined with that is pretty solid. You can charge mind control, and then if you don't hit, you still deal 1 pen damage. She's a little squishy, and by a little squishy, I mean for 75 points, she has no reducers. But
Right, yeah.
I think with the ability to generate constructs, obviously from Star Sapphire or Sinestro Core, I think that she'll be a pretty solid piece and constructed. I think it'll be a fun piece for sure. But I'm a fan of the old school Mystics and the Star Sapphire ring giving that. We haven't seen what the Yellow Lantern ring does yet, but orange is plasticity, and you can unequip somebody when you hit if they can already use plasticity.
I like that a lot.
You can unequip a hit character, which is kind of fun. That's greedy. Poison is what Kalder said last episode, I believe, which is if they can already use poison. Red Lantern is poison, and if they can already use poison, it's penetrating damage, which is just that's a thing that Red Lanterns have been doing for a while now, so that's cool. I don't remember this one being pulled, but Indigo Tribe Ring is listed here. Oh, that was one that
is that
Green
day one
Lantern
or
was shown at World, so maybe Scott pulled Orange, Red, Indigo, Star Sapphire. I don't remember. But yeah, that one's support. If they can already use support when they use it, increase the number of clicks healed by 1, which
solid.
Especially if you got somebody that's got like support as free or something. But yeah, that's all fatality. We won't know what exactly the Sinestro Core ring does, but I'm assuming you're going to want to put the Star Sapphire one on her, so her Mystics really kicks off, because that's seems to be what her whole thing is, giving her a 12 attack and 19 defense top dial, or an 11 attack and 18 defense bottom dial. Pretty decent.
Yeah, those yellow and blue rings, I'm super curious about what they're going to... In the past, they've both just been versions of Perplex, so I don't know if they're going to change that much. I don't know. Curious to see it.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
Right. Moving on to kind of like chases. Scott only got one chase that was scrappy, so I'm going to talk about the Legacy card we got previewed. I'm really stoked for this. I really liked this duo figure years ago when it came out. This is Lex Luthor and the Joker. Big fan of it. I'm a big Lex Luthor fan. They don't necessarily team up that much, but it's the whole world's vilest to world's finest or villainist or whatever they were supposed to be. Just the anti-version of Batman and Superman, which is what they are. So for 150 points, I think they were normally 200. So that's a 50-point chunk off their top dial. Batman enemy, Superman enemy, 7 range. The dial is the exact same. I mean, of course it is. They can't change it. Gotham City Underworld, Injustice League, Legion of Doom, and Metropolis. They have 2 traits. They have 2 special powers. They have a special speed power that I just absolutely love. We're going to save their traits for last because they're really freaking awesome. So special speed power is Money Talks, Sidestep. This used to be like Mad Every Which Way or something, where they could sidestep like 4 squares or something weird like that. But now it's just Sidestep. And when an adjacent friendly character is given a power or move action, after resolutions, you may place Lex Luthor and the Joker adjacent to that character. If you did, once per turn after resolutions, they may make an attack. So they get placed, they get to make an attack, and then they can also just make an attack as a costed action as well, which is really awesome. So this is only on their first 2 clicks. You are paying a big 150 for it, but that means someone can go all the way across the map. These guys aren't technically carried, they're placed, and then you get to make 2 attacks as an 11 for 4 with penetrating Psychic Blast, which I absolutely love. So that's really baller. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of Alpha Strike stuff, so this is really cool. Their special damage power is Perplex, but may instead modify a combat value +2 or -2. Adjacent friendly characters also get Superman Enemy, which is huge because Superman Enemy gives them Outwit, but you have to be adjacent to 2 people, right? You have to be adjacent to another friendly character, the Superman Enemy team ability, and the highest point character can use Outwit. I believe is, if I'm remembering correctly, how Superman Enemy works. When you hover it on Clicks Nexus, it doesn't tell you what team ability does. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyways.
Yeah, I can't. Off the top of my head, it's a wonky way to...
It's a wonky way to give someone Outwit, yeah. I would always like it if it made an ability where either a Superman has this ability or somebody else, but like I feel like anyone with Superman Enemy should always be able to Outwit like Superman. Like always got Kryptonite or something. Yeah. It's kind of like the point of it. Like that's really cool.
If it was
Those are 2 special powers.
Choose one opposing character this turn, they can't use Safeguard Outwit or something like
Yeah, that'd be really good. I'd really like that. Even better than just an outwit. Can't use sacred outwit. Solid. But yeah, so they're a +2, -2 perplex with an outwit, and they get to make 2 attacks. They're also just penetrating damage from range with 7 range, so you don't even have to move them all the way across the map. You can just move them pretty far. They also have sidestep, maybe go back a few squares or go even closer with reach. The only bummer thing is they only have 1 bolt. There's no like double target, triple target with the penetrating psychic blast, which is a bit of a bummer. But man, I again really like this Alpha Strike top dial. Is really cool. So their more simpler trait is you won't lay a finger on me. It gives them traded Mastermind. If there are no opposing characters within range and line of fire that have the Batman ally or Superman ally team ability, Lex Luthor and the Joker have Safeguard Outwit. So you can't get rid of their Mastermind unless there's a Batman or Superman character within line of fire, range and line of fire, which is 7 squares to be fair for them. So that does give it quite a big, their own range kind of hurts them actually in this regard. But, you know, I think in Constructed, maybe we won't see that many Superman or Batman with crazy outwits or something,
there's
you know.
Really, in Constructed, there's really not like a big Superman or Batman like being used.
Not when there's one DC set, you know, like there are 2
true.
DC sets in Modern,
Yeah.
which is to their, I guess, help, their benefit.
I mean, that Green Lantern Batman might see some play.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
he'd mess him up. Yeah, I think he'd. Okay. So there's that. So they have traded Mastermind, which is good because the only defense powers they have is ESD, combat reflexes, and toughness. They start with ESD with a 17, go on to, so after they lose their sidestep special damage power click, go on to a charge blades, combat reflexes, exploit click. This is a very Joker-led click for sure. I'd say Lex is more leading the charge in the beginning. This is a very Joker chargey blades. Close combat piece. And then in the end, this is where their 50-point dial begins, is they have 3 clicks of normal sidestep, poison, toughness, 2 clicks of prop, and then they get that special damage power again on their very last click. This is their 50-point line. It's kind of interesting. They're, you know, an 11 for 3. They lose the cool Alpha Strike ability. I think if they had the Alpha Strike ability at 50, that'd be a little too nuts. So I think this is a fine little 50-point line if you just want to play the piece, get a little prob, a little poison. It's kind of fun. It was 75 points for this line, if I'm not mistaken. So again, another decent amount of points.
I don't think they had a second line. I think they were just 200.
I really thought they did.
Maybe they did. I don't. Oh no, yeah, you are right.
Is it 70? Okay.
Yeah, you did have just like the last 3 clicks for 75.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, you know, again, a decent amount of points taken off. So their trait, and I love this. So when we saw it was all these duos, I was thinking, is it going to be like a Thor and Loki thing? Are we just going to get a bunch of Pogs? In that case, wow, Dial H is going to be busy cosplaying to make a bunch of Pogs for this set. Simeon's busting out his bald cap again, you know, like, this is going to be a lot. No, their trait is nothing personal, just business. When Lex Luthor and the Joker is KO'd by an attack, this does have to be an attack, so that's a big thing. Don't take Mystics to KO or whatever, but by an attack. Before removing them from the game, you may generate a character named Lex Luthor and or a character named the Joker from your sideline on their last non-KO clicks, and heal them each 2 clicks. Total points of the generated characters must be equal to or less than Lex Luthor and the Joker's point value. Lex Luthor and the Joker is 50 points. Only generate one of the 2 characters instead. Protected Pulse Wave. This is big for a lot of reasons. Bill in our Discord brought this up. I didn't even think about this.
It did not come to my mind until he said it.
Ed's son, Lex Luthor, if you start him on his last click, all of his abilities will trigger. So his special damage power on his last click, where you choose an opposing character to not be able to attack him, that triggers because it's when revealed. Based on when revealed happens is anytime you see that dial. A lot of the time, when revealed was paired with a stop click, so people thought you had to land on that click. But no, it's just anytime you literally ever see it click through the window. So as he heals from his last non-KO, he's going to heal, boop, get a green light, and then heal again, get a Bizarro, and then those bystanders are both going to have immune.
Immune, yeah.
Then he has Mastermind. And let's assume we don't have a modern Joker right now, but let's just probably say the Joker we also get has Mastermind. This is pretty gnarly to have 150 points. They are still scored, right? Like, you do...
Yeah.
It is when they are KO'd instead of when they would be KO'd. So you do score the big 150 points. Even then, you pop in Lex Luthor, Red Sun Lex, who brings out Joker and Bizarro and Greenlight, and you also get a Joker. They can probably, I assume Joker's gonna get Mastermind, but if he does, They can just mastermind to those Pogs, ignore everything because the Pogs have immune. Just so cool. So I really like that combo that we'll get to like mess around with and play, which makes me super excited to play this figure and excited to see what the weird doing a dance like jump scare Joker is gonna do as well. So
I think
I'm
we
pumped.
saw that there's going to be a Joker in this set, but I can't remember if there is. Or
Yeah,
not.
I don't know, he's like jumping kinda. He's got his hands doing a really weird thing, like he's playing marionette puppets
And
or
then,
whatever.
Yeah, we know that there's a Legacy Joker as well.
Oh right, that's true. So also
he
could
is
pair him with
from
that one.
Origin Icons. He's from Icons.
Cons. Okay.
So there's no telling if that one will be worth putting in the game or not. But I do like this take where it's you generate an actual figure or potentially two, and we'll go to talk about the other Legacy card or Legacy figures that
All the legacies, yeah.
Scott showed off. But like, yeah, this does open up the door rather than just having, I don't know what they would have given Lex. Like they would have given him ESD, like Psychic Blast. They would have given Joker like Poison, Combat Reflexes, or like, bystanders wouldn't have been as cool as this aspect, like being able to like pop it off kind of thing. I do really like this Legacy figure. It's got a lot going on, but it was kind of a iconic, piece back in the day.
Yeah.
I really liked playing it. Like I have one, so I'm happy with it. Let's see. Real quick, I'm going to talk about the chase that Scott pulled, which was Scrappy Doo, and then we can get on to, in my opinion, the more exciting things about the set, the Legacy figures. But for 25 points, Scrappy Doo is real good, like for 25 points. He has Animal, Celebrity, Detective, Mystery Inc. He has standard combat symbols, except he's tiny size. He has 2 traits. Let Me At Him. Sideline active. When a friendly character with a shared keyword of 60 points or less is KO'd. After 60 points or less is KO'd. After resolutions, you may generate Scrappy Doo from your sideline on click 3 in that character's square. If the KO'd character had the Mystery Inc. keyword, you may generate Scrappy Doo on click 1 instead. I think that means that if you have 2 Scrappy Doos, let me double check.
He's
not
unique, right? Yeah, no, he's unique. Yeah,
that makes sense because otherwise you'd have an endless Congo line of Scrappy Doos. But maybe there will be another Mystery Inc. character. We know that there's going to be other Mystery Inc. characters, but maybe there will be one that really works well with that. But yeah, you can pop him in and on click 1. He's only 4 clicks long, so it's not like you're getting a huge advantage. His second trait is Flim Flam, Scams, and Van Ghoul's Advice. When Scrappy Doo hits, choose one to last until your next turn. Hit characters can't be given free actions, or hit characters gain immobile. Both pretty awesome. Free actions include things like Perplex, Outwit, Sidestep, Poison. Immobile is also just real fun. I love handing out Immobile. I'm glad that we're getting more options to do it. Then his dial. He has a special defense power, his whole dial. He has a dial that is symmetrical-ish, where it goes charge, flurry, super strength, the whole dial. Special damage power on clicks 1 and 3, and then close combat expert on 2 and 4. So that special defense starts with 2 clicks of 18, then 2 clicks of 17, and that is toughness. Scrappy Doo takes a max of 1 damage from characters with the monster or mystical keyword. Protected Outwit. That is pretty solid. It is just toughness if you're not facing off against a monster or mystical team, but there's enough monsters and mystical teams out there that I feel like he'll be pretty solid. And then his special damage power on clicks 1 and 3 is Experimental Goggles, Close Combat Expert, and Outwit. So top dial, he is a 12 for 3 with super strength and outwit, and he can potentially come in on that click if another character's KO'd. And then if he comes in on click 3, it mirrors click 1. It's just 10 attack instead of an 11 and a 17 instead of an 18 defense. So either way, he's pretty solid. I don't know if I'd bring him in on click 3 because like my opponent can just get 25 points fairly easily. But depending on the team you're playing against, it's a pretty solid sideline active thing. It works with any team. Like the sideline active like works on any team. Doesn't have to be Mystery Inc. So he is cool. But yeah. Do you want to go over all the legacy cards real quick?
Yeah, let's jump into them. So Scott showed these Bad Boys off, and I'm pretty hyped. So we knew about well, we could kind of guess which Riddler it was. There was kind of two that I figured. And it wasn't actually the one that has a literal clue token, which was interesting. Lost Joker. It's I'm just looking at the picture. I forget which Nightwing this is, but it's a very solid sculpt on this Nightwing, non-Oreo.
Nightwing from Crisis.
Crisis Nightwing.
Yeah,
and then we weren't. So I don't think either of us got any of these legacy figures right. Which we can't win them all. We got a bunch right for Avengers Forever though. So let's. To
be fair, I don't think we knew that. Not that I would have guessed, but I don't think we knew that Doom Patrol was a sub theme.
No, we didn't, and that's
even
a
if
big
I had,
thing.
I probably wouldn't have. I was going leaning heavy into the team up portion of the set.
Also, I don't think either of us chose any lanterns either, and there's, a few lanterns that make it into the legacies, and we did know that lanterns were going to be a big part of the set, so...
True.
That was another one. I did guess that we would get a Batman from the animated series, but we do get a Jim Gordon instead from the Batman animated series set.
Right.
There's Lex Luthor, obviously. There's the original KC Alan Scott Green Lantern, the 20 defense willpower one, who is just so iconic and I think so deserving of a legacy card. I'm very happy that he's getting them.
Yeah, we don't know what he does yet, but 10 range, 2 lightning bolts, and then he's like a 12 for 4 with range combat expert, right?
Yeah, he's got good stats. He's got great stats, top dial. I mean, the 20 defense willpower, I think he's got to get like impervious, invincible, or something graded because like the 20 defense willpower was cool back then. Nowadays,
not so
a little rough for 200 point figure. We get that 100-point Batman from the Batman set, who has a 11-click long dial, which is gnarly. We get the Crazy Jane from the World's Finest set, so that's kind of fun. Bit of a wild dial thing that she had going on, her alter egos. Yeah, also uncommon. The Vacation Joker, Killing Joke version. I think this is somewhere in Killing Joke. He just dressed like he's going to go
with the
Hawaii
camera and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the Icons Joker.
Right.
I have the the one from Joker's Wild, the Super Rare from Joker's Wild that has like the similar outfit. He's like sitting down instead of standing there, but
right, and
so
the chair.
Potentially, I don't know. I've never played this Joker. You can say his like dial is like stealth outwit poison. Potentially, he'll be a good option to bring in from that other legacy card, but no clue. My guess is just from like the age alone, he's probably not as good as Red Sun Lex, whatever they do to him.
Yeah, probably not. Well, we'll see. Probably not, though. We get the World's Finest from, you guessed it, World's Finest, the Batman-Superman duo click. Makes sense. Goes with the World's Villainist of Lex Luthor and Joker.
Yeah.
Get this real Bob Kane Batman, where he's got the big pointy ears. I think this is like the purple gloves, big cape. He's like flying with some guy.
Yeah,
I assume this is like
dude in a headlock. He's like,
this is really interesting. Is this like a D75th figure? I mean, it's an amazing sculpt. It's really cool.
It is DC 75th.
Okay,
the dial like confuses me because I think it was listed on HC Realms as 052B. I haven't looked this one up.
Odd.
But you see Batman 052B. That would make me think Prime if it was any other set than DC 75th. Yeah. But I wonder if there was, let's see, Streets of Gotham, Batman, DC 75th. No, I don't know why it has the B because it is just 052.
Why would they? What does the B mean? What does it mean?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be the Riddler. He's got like a green.
Yeah, he's got a green suit, little hat that he's holding, so it doesn't fly off his head, and he's getting swung and choked out at the same time. This poor guy. Yeah, maybe a bit more of a violent, drop a criminal off a rooftop Batman we're getting. I don't know. You get Niles Calder, the Chief, the only character who... I mean, we finally have also audio of Scott Porter just straight up saying Calder, which I love for one personally.
Yeah.
Although this isn't the version, sadly the C and the U, but in audio wise, they sound the exact same, so it's fine. We can make Scott say, "I love you, Calder." Oh, thank you, Scott. Like, that's really neat. We do get a version of the Chief from World's Finest, which I'm really bummed about because after playing our Crisis game of Tabletop Simulator Thursday Throwdown, I bought the Chief Crisis because he had this ability. It was really cool that basically he would always get these manipulate tokens to let people ignore pushing damage. Back when pushing damage was a thing, he was really fun for a long time, and I really liked using this Chief. And he was the only version of Isles Calder I owned, and they threw us the curveball and gave us the World's Finest one instead. Bit of a bummer.
I think I might have had so a lot of the World's Finest super rares like went for next to nothing. Like Monsieur
really?
Mala, and that was when I was surprised because we did see Scott did pull the brain. We didn't get Monsieur Mala in the brain. Nope. But
No. Then I assume Monster Mall is probably going to be somewhere in the set then.
yeah, that's probably a good. And I think the brain has the animal keyword. I think yeah. But
Nice.
no, it is interesting that we got. Let's see, was it 2 figures from World's Finest? Yeah, which I mean, probably the most recent time they did Doom Patrol, which is why. But yeah, the Chief. I think I picked him up, or I just like pulled him, and he wasn't ever worth like selling or getting rid of. So I probably have him somewhere, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I should try and figure out how many of these I actually have. I know I do have the super rare Batman Beyond. That's
But yeah, there you go. That's
not
the one,
from-
Batman Beyond.
yeah, that's from Justice League, not the Batman animated series one. So he was he wasn't the same pick of power, but he did something similar. All I know is I played the common a lot more. But then we've got 2 duo figures. We've got Harley Quinn and Ivy.
Yep.
That's a super rare from the Harley Quinn set. Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girl set. So I think we can assume that they might do something similar to Joker and Lex, where you can spit out a Harley or Ivy. That's probably like a similar theme for these team-ups. And then Hal Jordan and Sinestro from, of course, War of Light, which is what I'm real excited for because it's such a cool sculpt. It was a figure that I definitely kept. I have like my whole box of War of Light still, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I remember always trying to honestly get rid of this figure. Would not get rid of Batman, or not, sorry, excuse me, Batman. Sinestro and Hal duo. Could never trade it away, and I didn't want it. No offense to people that are big Hal Sinestro duo fans, but like 300 points, it didn't help me win sealed. It was not a great figure back then. It looked really awkward. It still looks awkward and strange to me. Like, he could probably say that's a cool sculpt. I don't think it is, but yeah, I remember this one and Indigo Sinestro when I was always making like trade posts.
Yeah.
I was like, please give me $3 for these guys. I don't want them anymore,
Well,
but people,
I think
a
that's
ton
why
of
so
War
many
of Light.
people probably still have. Well, not like it would just disappear from people's collections, but
Right,
that's
yeah.
why I still have that Hal and Sinestro. Is
Yeah, it never
because
sold.
yeah, it was a super rare, but all the rest of the super rares from War of Light seemed like people wanted them more than this one. So
Oh yeah,
well, with the exception of a few of them, but yeah, this is one that
like Black
Try
Hand,
and-
he was flying off the shelves. Everybody wanted them.
yeah,
Or
or like
Black Hand, or
Superboy Prime.
Superboy. Yeah, Superboy Prime.
Everyone
Yep.
wanted Superboy Prime because, like, I remember trying to get a trade where it was like Hal and Sinestro and some other stuff for Superboy Prime, and they were like, Hal and Sinestro, no. I was like,
Yeah,
come on,
gross.
they got a 100-point line, like, it's all right. Just
And
play
and
that
yet
half
nowadays it's the real egg on my face because now people are probably paying $400 for Hal and Sinestro.
They're definitely
but seriously,
asking that.
the Legacy Green Lantern already sold, or whatever. The KC Green Lantern sold for what, $200 something
Did it
dollars
really?
on eBay? I think it actually did sell for like
People
$220
were
or
asking,
something.
yeah, that's
That is ridiculous.
That's when if I
Before
were
we
to
know what it
have
does.
collected the KC stuff, I would have collected the World's Finest KC stuff. I definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't have had any of this older ones, which is sad because this is the second one that we've seen. Wonder Woman was
Yeah.
the first KC.
There you go, buy that KC Superman.
Yeah, that
The odds of it
Icons
getting
or whatever
legacy.
one. Or,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I have no idea.
Overtime, I don't know. But yeah, it seems like they might, going forward, they might do one of those KC figures from, and good luck finding them because anyone that has that original set probably isn't getting rid of any of them anytime soon.
I doubt it. Atrocitus is really cool. I'm happy we are getting Atrocitus Legacy. I would have preferred a new Atrocitus. I also would have preferred legacying the Atrocitus I own, which is the War of Light LE Atrocitus, but that's it. That's all right. I'll suck it up and pay my $80 for this Atrocitus that we don't know what he does. No, I'll probably wait to see what he does and then offer a crisp $15 bill, which is probably what, unless he's somehow meta. But if he's not, then people, y'all need to calm down on these legacy prices. Just because they're old doesn't mean they're worth that much. Let's chill. Let's calm down here. Like,
Yeah, the speculation pricing's a
The-
bit high because
Lex and Joker being sold for like 60 or so, I get it. They're the only one we know what it does, and I do think they could potentially
That does
be
seem fair.
fringe. They also
Yeah.
do a lot of stuff. Yeah,
like
that I
MODOK.
get.
MODOK was selling for 50,
Yeah,
60.
Yeah, MODOK, I understand.
When we
I don't
found
get
out
why
what he did.
Supernova Thor is so much. For some reason, Supernova Thor was really expensive when we
Yeah.
first saw him, I think. Let me double check.
The problem with legacy card speculation is, one, it could just not do. It could be like a brick and it just does nothing. And two, the two legacy figures that are probably the most prominent, the 2x2 Apocalypse and Legacy Thanos, topped out around like high end around 200. Maybe like there's people like really like jumping the gun and paid like a little over that. But if you're paying 200 for a legacy figure without knowing what it does, you might be in for a
Yeah.
little hurt because
Yeah, these Supernova Thors are going for like $50 each for a
Yeah.
Supernova figure, and he's not worth $50.
Oh, no.
Looking at that dial and ability. So
he's
yeah,
fun,
like
but he's like,
Yeah,
I don't
he's
pay
solid.
$50 for fun figures, especially when there's plenty of Thors to choose from,
Oh.
in my opinion.
it's Atrocitus. Plan is to not pay over $20. Don't think he'll be so impressively meta, but
Well,
I don't know. I really
Was
don't
he a
know.
rare? I can't even remember what
It was
set
a
that was
rare.
from.
Yeah, I think this is
He
Legacy or
was,
Crisis or something.
75th. This
Okay.
guy was from
75th.
75th, and
If that
he
was the set they had all
rare.
the Green Lanterns. So yeah, a rare from 75th. Let's look. Last sold $3. So Cool Stuff Inc. had him for $3. I will give
There you
you
go.
100 times that amount or 10 times that amount. I will be willing to pay $30. That will be my cap for Atrocitus.
Yeah, I will
would
give
like
you
to give you
200%
5
more
times.
than $3.
Yeah,
$6
how's that sound? Yeah, there you go. $6. You know, like, people need to chill out with the
Yeah.
legacy prices. It's insane. But those are the legacy features. Oh, there's also the question. Scott didn't have them. Scott
that's
didn't
right.
own the uncommon question. I will say it's weird getting the uncommon question from Justice League Unlimited. Get it? He's a detective dude. Makes sense. He was also featured prominently, pretty heavily in the Batman Scooby-Doo team-up movie, which after watching that, I got really disappointed in all the legacy picks because I realized the legacy pick should have been Paco, Martian Man. Spoilers for the Batman Scooby-Doo team-up movie, I guess. It should have been the question, so that was good. It should have been Choco Manhunter, so either Chocolate Throne or the one that is just obsessed with him, but they lean into him liking Chocos a lot, so any Martian Manhunter technically, but Choco Manhunter preferably. Detective Chimp, who's on the
Oh,
board
yeah.
of detectives, that
We
should have been a
definitely need
freaking legacy figure.
We need Detective Chimp back in the game somehow.
Right.
Has
And
he,
then-
he's only been made once.
That's just, I think just the once. Yeah. Like Crisis or 75th or whatever it
Yeah.
was. And
I
then,
guess no, he was also a bystander.
there we go. Twice.
Yeah. It's a
Then
fun
we
little
also
sculpt.
needed a version of Black Canary because she was also on their detective crew, which I didn't really know why. I didn't think she was much of a detective, but I guess she is. So she was also there. And then it was the Mystery Gang with the main kind of villains being within Arkham Asylum. I don't want to tell you who the main villain is. It's kind of a spoiler because we don't find out till the very end when they ask him. So them, I mean, excuse me, I don't know who or they could be. But yes, like those would have been the figures I would have really liked to see Legacy to base off the movie. I know this isn't necessarily based off the movie since like Robin isn't even in that movie, so it's probably like that is Batman Brave and the Bold look for Batman. So I assume he is, and maybe the Robin is the one from like the old Hanna-Barbera team up. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it would have been cool to see those guys get legacied because they were featured heavily in the Batman Scooby-Doo team-up movie. Yeah.
There is a
Question's cool, though.
I don't know what the film or whatever it is. I think it's on HBO Max. But
Okay.
there's this like old school like art style animated film, and by like By that I mean 60s, I think.
All right.
I didn't watch like a ton of cartoons back in the 60s, obviously.
I didn't
But
think you did, yeah.
maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's like 80s. I don't know. It could be it could be any time before I was watching cartoons, but I know it's old. But the question teams up with Blue Beetle, and it's actually just really fun. It's like a super fun, like short little animated thing. Like I can't remember, they fight Dr. Spectrum or Prismo or something like that. I can't remember. Some motion controlling dude who uses like colors. But the like the little quips and like the, what would you call it, the homage they're doing to like the older style of like comics and like cartoons is just really fun. You can tell that it was like done in a modern setting, that this wasn't like an actually old cartoon, but just like the way that they like try to make it out to look like one is pretty cool. That's my most recent question viewing, but yeah, it is real fun.
I will say, I hope this question is more close combat, karate, martial artist themed, because the last one is very much like, ooh, I'm going to ask the questions. Smoke cloud, ooh, but like question kind of kicks butt. He throws hands.
Yeah, he is a martial artist.
Exactly, yeah.
There's a reason why he's teamed up in the Brave and the Bold stuff so often, like comics-wise. Because at the end of the day, he still is a vigilante. Like
he's a superhero that can hold his own, and fight, so... It is the Batman set, though. Safe to say, I'm excited. I still probably buy about a brick of the set. I'm not so sure about a case. Knowing I get that many rings kind of makes me almost not want to have to get a case since it's so easy to get them.
Yeah.
In theory. So we'll see if that...
20 whole constructs, though.
I know. See, like that is the tempting
Possibly
part. Where maybe this is like a case set or so.
All the constructs.
Yeah, like I like all the objects, got to get those constructs, got to get those rings. I think it's just going to be a fun set. More than anything, I would hope to just play a ton of battle royales or sealed with this set. That'd be my preferred way of buying into this set, actually. Not necessarily a brick or a case, but just playing a ton of sealed.
Yeah.
And if people, all those people that complain about the construct and the booster, well, hey, don't snake draft it at the end. I'll take that. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
I'll just bill a boink, yoink. Thank you.
If I was going to guess, I think the chainsaws will be popular. Obviously, you'll need the rings to... So, like each ring will work on, like, different teams for different reasons. The Green Lantern ring is willpower, and then if they can already use it... I mean, it's exactly the same as Super Soldier Serum.
Yeah.
For 5 points more, and then it also gives you the ability to make a construct. Now, making a construct as power instead of free is rough.
Rough.
Also, these aren't as good as like the Wonder Woman traits because it's also once per, or if this, generate a construct that hasn't been generated by this character this game. Now, if you're playing somebody, you're playing like Jim Jaspers and you make like an orange construct and then you free swap to like a Green Lantern ring and make a green construct. Like you can make you can make 2 chainsaws that way or whatever. But yeah, I do think that collecting the rings and constructs is going to be something where you're going to be happy if you hold on to them long enough that people are offering you like super rares and rares and stuff for those constructs because they want to finish their set. If you don't want them, that is. If you're one of those people that really wants a full set of all the constructs and all the lantern rings, then good luck to you because it is not going to be as hard as like team up cards and stuff were. Definitely not as hard as tarot cards were, but it's definitely not going to be an easy task.
Right, yeah. There's still a lot to collect, if it's ever 6 or 7 constructs for every single Lantern core. It's gonna be tough. But I'm pumped for the set. I'm gonna go ahead and move into the questions part of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Wowie wow. Look at all these questions we got. These are all on our Discord. You can join our Discord by joining our Patreon. $5 and above gets you access to all sorts of really cool content behind the scenes, early looks at videos, blooper reels, all this really fun stuff. We'll got to see an early look at a video this week on our Patreon that you guys will eventually be able to see if you don't or aren't on our Patreon. Sometime you'll be able to check it out. But not yet. Not quite yet. So make sure to check out our Patreon. Join it. Support us. Support the show. Support means a lot. What can we say, fellas? But all right, getting on to the questions.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Also, really quickly, leave a. I'm not gonna like beg and try to make you like do my bidding to give me a 5-star review, but it does super help the podcast. If you enjoy listening to the show and enjoy us, Simeon and I, the podcast, and you want more people to listen to the Dial H for Heroclix podcast, word of mouth is awesome. But when people search up Heroclix podcast, we do want them to see old Dial H for Heroclix as soon as they can in the top. So if you leave a 5-star review on the show, let us know. We will almost always. We always read out the reviews that we get on the show on air. We haven't gotten a review in a while.
No,
y'all been slacking, y'all been forgetting, and that's okay.
Well,
that's
to
all
be
right.
fair, a lot of the popular podcast places don't have like a rank review like Spotify and Stitcher. I think you can follow them. You can like subscribe, whatever, but
right
I
on.
don't think there's a review leaving option. I don't know.
No, on
I'll have to
iTunes
check.
there is, but let's check like Spotify,
Yeah,
Stitcher,
iTunes
and all that
definitely
jazz.
does, because that's where most of ours have come from.
Right.
But, yeah, you can like shows and episodes. You can obviously download, which is just like that gives us the numbers that we can check.
Yeah, just helps out.
'Cause I think
I know
Spotify is our number
we are
one.
second. I assume iTunes is our number one.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it very well might be.
That's up. We haven't been on iTunes or we haven't been on Spotify
Yeah.
that long. So
On Stitcher, all you can do is like episodes, and then on Spotify, I don't even know if you can do that. So on Spotify, if I click on this episode,
I will say, for whatever reason, Germany, just looking at our Podbean really quick, Germany is now beating Canada for downloads, which is really interesting because Germany never used to listen to the podcast, so I don't know what's going on there.
they're
like, hey, yo, it's pretty good.
Boom of
Yeah.
Heroclix, apparently.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
you
pretty
can
neat.
you can rate on Spotify. There is, if you go to the show, you can give it 5 stars. So that is, one benefit Spotify has over Stitcher, and the same thing that you can use on Apple Pod.
Right on. But yeah, feel free to leave reviews, do all that fun stuff. Join the Patreon. It super helps us out. We had a landmark year making content for you guys, and we just want to keep that same great content going forward. All right, question time. Alex asks, Batman Team Up is introducing another Warner Brothers IP to Heroclix for the first time in Scooby-Doo. Name Beyond Amazing, so let's talk about the Spider-Man set coming soon, could theoretically imply we're not just doing Spider-Man. We are going beyond, perhaps to infinity and beyond. Each of you pick one Disney IP to add to Beyond Amazing, a set that is not Marvel. The not Marvel clarification hurts a little bit because I was just gonna choose a Marvel.
Up it and say also not Star Wars, because I think that
Ooh,
would
not
be
Star Wars. Yeah, I don't think they would do Star Wars.
That would be like the easy choice, but there's also
Yeah.
Star Wars miniature games, and who wouldn't want to see Star Wars? But yeah, I'm gonna say no picking Star Wars, because that would have been my first.
Okay,
pick.
that's fair.
Like The Mandalorian, Andor, Clone Wars. Like those would have been my top 3.
Let's make that pretty easy.
Let's see.
Man, this is tough. So, like, my original answer before I read the not Marvel part was they should make it a half Earth X set, because I'm still salty about not getting a full Earth X set, and you decided to ruin half of it with Spider-Man. No, so when he said just Disney, I do think too, my personal favorite animated Disney show of all time is Phineas and Ferb. And Phineas and Ferb had a crossover with Marvel. They had Mission Marvel or something. I know like Spider-Man was in it, like Iron Man and Thor. I don't think Cap was in it, which was I was a little disappointed. But yeah, Phineas and Ferb have crossed over with Spider-Man. So if there was anything that we would get in a Spider-Man set, my guess is we get Phineas, Ferb, probably Candace. Maybe we just fill out the gang. Baljeet, the Fireside Girl Scout girl that likes Isabella, that one. We also get Buford. I think that was their main crew, right? Baljeet, Buford, Isabella, Phineas, Ferb, Candace. Maybe we get Jeremy, Candace's friend. Oh, obviously, we get Perry the Platypus, or just Perry the Platypus, or a regular platypus with secret identity, Perry the Platypus, and then of course a Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I have to get Dr. Doofenshmirtz. That would be my top pick. I actually am getting way too excited now that could be real and probably isn't, but I would like that a lot. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds fair. So Disney owns, like I think they own Pixar, 20th Century Animation, obviously Marvel and Lucasfilms, and then their own IPs. From 20th Century, there's got to be this is easy. Like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Ooh.
It came out in 95.
Okay.
Revenge of the Ooze or whatever that. I don't remember what that one was. But yeah, that I know there's plenty of people that love Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and just Power Rangers in general. There's also just a ton of comics and stuff. But I don't think Power Rangers has like a tabletop game that I'm aware of. I know they've got like card games and stuff, but
I think they actually do have a tabletop.
do they?
They have a board game,
But still,
but I might be
they're
remembering it wrong.
Technically owned by,
Hey, Scooby Doo's got a board game.
or at least that
No,
movie. So
so-
maybe they could make a movie-based set. But yeah, I think Power Rangers themselves are still owned by like Saban or whatever. Obviously they weren't produced originally in
Right, not
the
an
United
American
States.
company. Yeah.
We could get Ferdinand the Bull voiced by John Cena.
We can
Shifting
get
focus,
3
John Cena.
versions of John Cena, Peacemaker, Ferdinand, and just regular WWE John Cena. Yes,
Yeah. The Ice Age series, also by 20th Century Fox.
Oh, okay.
Not that I need anything from that, but I mean,
You can finally get Everybody Loves Raymond. Are you kidding me? Let's go.
Ray Romano. Oh,
Ray
man.
Romano
Finally-
as Manny the Mammoth. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Finally get him in
Come
clicks.
true.
As far as like actual Disney stuff, I think Mulan. I had some like Mulan action
Ooh,
figures.
there
the,
you go.
The short little dude with the like perpetual black eye.
Oh yeah, he's talking like this or whatever. He was always
the real
raspy voice.
tall, like peaceful one, like the gentle
Yeah.
giant dude.
Yeah.
And then like I can't remember what the
Lanky.
third guy was. Thin.
Yeah, just whatever. The lanky guy.
Yeah. Do that. You get the little Eddie Murphy dragon.
Yeah.
Get obviously like Mulan, and then also voiced by what's her name?
Now when?
Agent.
Now when?
No, the Disney or the Marvel.
Real name is Ming. Oh, about who she is. The
Yeah.
Cavalry, aka it's an M.
Agent
think.
May. Yeah.
Agent May. Yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. There we go.
Yeah. So we could have duplicity there. We have Mulan, and then also Agent May, shifting focus. But yeah, that would actually be like a fun set. You can have like generics, and you've got whatever the bad guy was. I can't remember who
Like
if he was actually
Genghis
named.
Khan, right?
I
Or
mean,
was
that's
it
kind
something
of
else?
who was. I think they just called him Khan, but I think that's who he was supposed to be. But yeah, then I can every time I set up for a Heroclix game, I can just say, "Let's get down to business."
Business. Oh heck
To
yeah.
defeat your team. Did you roll
Down
a
for it.
5? When you needed a 7? I don't know. That doesn't work.
Well, that rhymed so well.
I was
That was really
I was
good.
thinking ahead of
That was so
the
good.
rhyme.
All right. Yeah, okay. I like these answers. I'm excited now for a potential Mulan or Phineas and Ferb sub-theme, very much so, in the Beyond Amazing set. And frankly, if those aren't in it, I'm going to be disappointed, because I've now
I'm not
made
gonna
fake
buy it.
high standards for myself.
Yeah.
Or we get, like, the Spidey and Friends, more realistically, the
Spoilers
very...
for the Spider-Verse stuff, but I saw an article that like had like PS1 Spidey like confirmed.
What?
Had like in some big splash shot where they're like all like running around in like some place. They had like PS1 Spidey. They had the whatever Spider-Man happened after that like OG Real Good series in the 90s where he goes to like alternate Earth. And J. Jonah Jameson's like the werewolf.
Isn't that
and-
just also 2099?
No, it's stylized like 2099. It's very futuristic, but it's not
Yeah.
actually 2099.
Interesting.
But then yeah, we also
I remember watching that. Like half the people on the planet were like animals.
Yeah,
Maybe they all were like half animals. There's furries.
'cause I
There's the evil
think-
furry future.
yeah. The evil guy was like the
elephant or something. I don't know. Some
he
weird
was,
animal.
What's the guy that makes the animal people?
Oh, evolutionary.
Yeah, that was the bad
Oh,
guy.
was
of
that him? Oh,
that
okay,
show,
then right
was the
on.
High
I guess that makes
Evolutionary,
sense.
And then he had his, I can't remember what he called him. The something.
The Animen.
beasts. My Animen.
Animen.
High Evolutionary. Spider-Man. Spider-Man Unlimited. That was the name of the series.
Oh, Unlimited, yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing's more
he had
unlimited
like
than
magic
furries.
powers. He was always like shooting Spider-Man and friends with like green blasts. Because I actually started rewatching the series, and then I was just like, I
Oh,
can't
there you
quite do
go.
it. The Green Goblin on it was like a dad who got like mutated against his will, and so he couldn't like spend time with his family because he was now a monster.
Oh, no.
So he was actually a good guy, but yeah. What did he call his generals? Let's see. He does not look like the normal High Evolutionary, that's for sure. He has like giant tusks and
He's very 90s.
yeah, like big shoulder pads and stuff. But yeah, cool show. That's all I was getting at. And apparently that Spider-Man also seen in one of those quick
Oh,
like
well,
whatever things.
Here we
for
go.
Whatever Spider-Verse 2 is going to be called.
Okay. Right on. Chance asks, since Calder is snowed in, has he worked on his Evil Dead set? And I am happy to report that yes, actually I have. And even before you asked that question, I was actually working on the Evil Dead set, although that did make me want to work on it a little bit more. So last we left off, I was at Army of Darkness Ash in the set, and he is set number 10. And I got all the way up to set number 15, so I made 5 dials for the set. It's relatively easy to make some of these dials. I also did the biggest thing was I did a total overhaul. I noticed the figures, my wants to make them as accurate to the game as possible. I was making them needlessly complicated and just unfun, really, to play with how much you had to track of. So I decided that any normal basic survivor will only get 3 special powers or traits. And considering everybody gets the bleeding out stop click ability at the end, that really means I have 2 special powers to basically make their one active ability, and then the other special power can be anything to represent how they play or something else. And then I'll try to use more standard powers or abilities they would have in aim. So I started giving out mostly like warriors all have like the warrior trait, which helps them, and then that's like probably the toughest thing is hunters, warriors, and leaders that have just the hunter, warrior, or leader trait. I have 0 slots left to provide any more fun flavor text besides their active ability, and then besides the bleeding out special defense power, which is the stop, immobile, immune ability, which is interesting. And I still like that power, but enough video games have the whole you can be revived after taking damage that I may end up removing the whole bleeding out ability. Then I would have to rework even more dials, so I'll have to see. After a while, after I make more, I'll see if I want to rework them again. But I like the way leaders function. I like the way generic deadites, skeletons, and everything function in the set. But since Army of Darkness Ash, let's just go over the ones I did make. I made Kelly Maxwell. I made the Deadite Berserker, which is an Elegos Deadite basic. I made the Deadite Elite, which is Henrietta's Elite. I made Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is a leader. He was actually a really fun dial that I got to make. And we made Amanda Fisher from Ash vs. Evil Dead. It was also really interesting because in the Evil Dead series, there's not a ton of keywords or team abilities to really give out to people. Most of them are just kind of teenagers, and the teen isn't a keyword anymore, so they just get the set original survivor keyword. But Amanda is a member of the police force. She actually is one of the few people that gets the police, or the only person that gets the police team ability and the police keyword, adding a bit of team ability variation stuff going on there versus, like, I guess Henry and Army of Darkness Ash do get the Mystics team ability to help represent abilities they have. But besides that, there's not a lot of team abilities in the set. So no, I made 5 figures. I had a grand old time designing dials. It's been a lot of fun. I like the simple rework. It makes them different. Getting rid of the pink F ability and just having their stats go up as they take damage was something I wanted to do in the beginning, but decided pink F, like that ability made more sense with all the healing that should happen in theory. But now I'm like, to save space and complication, remembering who has what +1 where, just making the stats go up gradually as they would on a skill tree.
So you're saying you
is
ran
represented.
out of pink Fs to give?
Yeah, I ran out of pink Fs to give. Yeah, I capped out. So funny.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Right. Good job.
I waited for a while to do that joke.
Yeah, nice. Right on. The guy. But yeah, no, the set is nearing completion. Because they did add a new demon and 3 new survivors, it's perfect for a 6-figure fast forces. So instead of adding them to the main set, which would be a gravity feed, we now have a mini fast forces for the characters that were added from the latest few updates. It's really cool. So I'm actually really enjoying it, and then making all the characters less complicated makes it easier to make more characters. So I'm making it easier on myself to help design and make more stuff. The demons are still going to be tough. I don't know how I'm going to do the demons yet. They're going to be difficult. They're going to be really difficult to design. But yes, Chance. Long answer. I have been working on the Evil Dead set since I've been snowed in, and I've been really enjoying it. All right. Bill asks an interesting question. So, first one to you, Simeon, I guess to both of us. If the lantern cores were real, Simeon, what color ring would choose Kalder? And Kalder, what color ring would choose Simeon?
I knew that this question was here, but
I know, it's still tough.
Look up the lantern ring, what is it, emotion spectrum?
Right, emotional spectrum.
You just brought up rage. I typed that in. Bing just says rage.
Rage.
The emotion that fuels the ring is rage. I didn't say red ring, though. I just said lantern ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
always have
that's
to...
straight up incomplete list. What in the world?
Yeah, there's 10 of them now. So there's
10 of them, yeah.
There's will, fear, rage, avarice, which is greed, hope, compassion, love, death, life, which are my favorite 2 emotions, death and life. Ultraviolet
Good
lantern
emotions.
is hidden negative feelings. I don't know how that's an
interesting.
emotion, but if you have enough hidden negative feelings, you might get a ultraviolet lantern. That's the newest one. Of course,
Who was the first? Was it Jon Stewart, the first ultraviolet lantern?
Source wall breaking. Seven hidden forces were released into the DC universe. One of those forces was the invisible emotional spectrum. Unlike the other lantern core that control the emotional spectrum, the invisible emotional spectrum controls the ultraviolet lanterns. Feeding on hidden negative emotions, the ultraviolet lantern core is controlled by Umbrax, the sentient son of a living phantom galaxy. Jeez. Umbrax and the lantern core of the unseen light seek out planets with strong self-destructive forces and pull them into Umbrax's galaxy, adding the inhabitants of the ultraviolet lantern core. By shield of day and shield of night, we feed and grow beyond all sight. Your darkest self shall be our night. Wield the sword of unseen light. That's a cool, little... the only pictures I see of this look like Jon Stewart's the only one currently. But there's got to be generic ones, right? Maybe Sinestro?
So, honestly, for some reason, Sinestro seems right for you. You're not the kind of guy that's like, yes, I want to strike fear into people. Fear me. But, that color scheme and vibe, I think, would fit you the most. Just color scheme more than anything. Maybe it's just Simeon, Sinestro. Sounds nothing alike. But I just would see you in yellow probably easier than most of the other colors. I don't know if you'd be rocking our Sapphire outfit anytime soon. But it would probably be, I don't know. I could probably see yellow or, I don't know, black or white, depending on what happens. Those would probably be my top.
How are you feeling?
Picks.
I do often say, when someone says, how are you feeling lately? I'm pretty dead. But that's
dead,
more
man.
so just tired. I don't think tired is an emotion.
Right.
It's like a physical
Gray Lantern spectrum.
Yeah. Just all real sad and tired.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is hard. So I don't think either of us would qualify for rage.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been that angry to.
I keep my anger fairly in check, and it's not something that I let muse or it's not something that I make decisions with or whatever. So it just seems like Red Lantern would be out the window. Not on a mission for vengeance or anything either.
We could see you also. I think actually, I would take it back. I would say Sinestro, aesthetically, you would look the best in like yellow. I feel like you would
I also
look
have
the
that
best
pink
in a
skin like
Sinestro core.
Sinestro. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. And I could also see you in the purple Lantern core as just more compassion, because I could also see you with like the Billy and Clicks Bruce staff as your stick.
Oh gosh. I think yeah.
Which wouldn't, I guess Billy and Clicks Bruce would be in the orange Lantern core though, 100%.
Oh yeah.
That's
Clicks
just
has to be
true.
orange.
Yeah.
Indigo Tribe just makes me think of like Avatar, the James Cameron movie.
Oh sure.
whatever
Yeah, that's kind of
reason.
fair.
No, I think I have to give you Will because that's
Oh,
the
dang.
only one that makes enough sense.
Right on.
The other ones like they just don't quite like humans are a complex people, so we make up many emotions throughout
Very
our
true.
lives. But yeah, I think Calder is usually just his emotional state is usually just willpower. It's just
That's the emotion.
feeling very willpower right now.
Yeah, dude, I'm always feeling pretty
Not
willpower.
angry. I'm willpower right now.
I'm just willpower right now. I don't know how it is. I'd be willpowering. And then it goes on to ask, for both of us, what color ring would choose in?
This one's actually easier for me
Yeah.
to pick. So, do you have one picked out?
Hey, I want to make a joke, but I don't want to say it on air, so I'm not going
Okay,
to. I do
we'll
think
save
he would. I do think he would fit blue the most, though.
Yeah,
in
that's what I was
hope.
going to say.
So you're gonna say, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I think so.
Ian is not necessarily like the most hopeful person, but I will say I don't think a single person has ever believed in like what this podcast can achieve wilder than what
Right.
Ian has.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
So that's why I think blue is just an obvious one for him.
sure. All right, cool.
He's
Yeah,
like, one day, Dial H the moon, right? But only to go to the moon so that we can get to Mars. What's on Mars? That's right, gateway to another dimension that hasn't heard our podcast yet. I'm like, Ian, calm down. He's like, the ship's already being built. And it's like, what? How? And he's like, all right, I'm already halfway to the moon, guys. Wish me luck.
things are already
Like,
set in motion that we cannot
what is-
reverse. Like,
what is
whoa,
happening?
yeah, absolutely. That is just a solid question, Bill. Bill gets
Yeah, that was a
infinite brownie points
Yeah.
for
very fun question.
providing one of the most fun questions we've actually answered on the podcast. So I super appreciate that. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of the show. But one thing, now this is not a Patreon plug. This is not a desperate attempt for you to give us money to help make still, some of the best Heroclix content ever. This is not a please review our podcast. This is I want to hear your voice and I want to hear your opinion. We answer a lot of questions, but now Dial H is asking you guys a ton of questions on all our social medias. It's on Facebook, Twitter. It's even on YouTube. If the YouTube post things, we are posting very simply, vote for the best of and worst of in Heroclix of 2022. So make sure your opinion is known. So far, the questions are, what is the best set? And then what is the worst set? And you would just comment below the best and worst set. The question I uploaded today is, who is the best main attacker that came out this year? And what is the best support figure that came out this year? We have, I think, 16 or 20 categories. We'll be doing a big end of the year show. I believe the plan is currently New Year's Eve. We'll be going until midnight, until New Year's Day. Going over the best, worst. We're going to tally all your votes, do a big Dial H awards ceremony about what is the best and the best of whatnot for Heroclix in 2022. So it's going to be a really fun show. So make sure you comment on all these posts. If you think you missed some, just click on the Dial H for Heroclix page, whichever one it is, scroll down and find it. Like I said, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can comment on all these. It's not a video. The post will be under the community section. If you go to our just channel, you go to the community section. That's where you'll see all the posts. We're also going to be doing a best skit video of Dial H of 2022 as well. That one will be a little simpler. We'll probably just have 2 images. On YouTube, it'll be an image poll. You'll just click on which one you want. On Twitter, you'll probably have to comment which one's your favorite. On Facebook, I'll make it so it's a react, a heart or laugh react for which video is your favorite. So those are the 2 different things that we're running right now. So the just normal favorite figures, favorite sets, favorite whatever the year, you'll comment those below. And then also the figuring out which is everybody's favorite Dial H video of the year, skit video, I should say, clarify, will also be a separate thing that is happening. But please go make sure to vote. check it out. We want to hear your opinion. We want to get as many people's opinions as possible. Kind of like Hujibo trying to figure out what the best figure of the year is, doing his whole top 10 list thing. We want to know a little bit more detail, certain best figures, certain people's best sets, and do a fun awards ceremony. It should be a really good time. And the more fun it will be is the more people that vote and let their opinions be heard, because we want to hear them all. We want to know it.
For sure. And then slightly after the new year, we've got a couple things that we're going to do community-wise. I don't think we are going to announce everything as of yet, but we're going to start doing polls / not necessarily bracket system, but there's going to be some sort of prizing, and we're going to have people join us with Heroclix bets. So we've done Heroclix bets on what figures are going to get legacy carded for upcoming sets. We're now going to put that on the community. We're going to make the community decide which figures. So you'll get, I don't know, maybe 1, maybe 5 votes of figures, and the person with the most correct answers once they've been revealed will receive a prize. It may or may not be one of those figures that you picked. But yeah, so it's going to be something. The first set that we'll be able to do this for is going to be the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing set, I believe, is next. Because obviously we didn't really know what the legacy cards for Batman. But that's going to be something that's going to be a fun change. So we won't be making our own bets, but we will be speculating along with you and reviewing and maybe taking some jabs at your guesses. I don't know. It'll be something
probably.
It'll be after the new year. So also after the new year, January 11th is the expected release day of Batman Team Up.
Let's go.
Yeah, we've got that right around the corner, less than a month away now. And actually, I believe not this next Wednesday, but the one after, I think, is when people are going to start doing pre-releases. Possibly next Wednesday, but pre-releases are going to be happening right before Christmas, which is fun. But if you want to get some pre-orders in before the set drops, Cool Stuff has booster bricks for $134.99. That'll be free shipping on that. They have booster cases, the case of Batman Team Up, for $260, also free shipping. Also use code DIAL5 to get 5% off those. Single boosters at $16. That will not be free shipping unless you hit $100 worth of single boosters. The Dyson token pack is $14.90 or $13.99. The miniatures game, the Batman Team Up miniatures game that comes with the Teen Titan Go and Scooby Gang set of figures, is $60. And then they are currently out of stock of the Play at Home kit with the Ultra Instinct Shaggy and the, what was it, Danny the Street map, all that fun stuff that we saw. But make sure to pick up one of those once they get it back in stock. I think those are also like $12.99, $16, something like that. They're right between a booster and Dyson token pack in price. But yeah, check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. They also still have the Avengers Forever figures up and the Hellfire Gala stuff up. So check them out. Use code DIAL5 and save some money.
Always, happy trails.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional...
Heroclix?
No.
Are you serious? Again? How many people even play this game? Like 100?
Instant deadpan humor.
Over 6 people think I am funny.
It's a hard day's work. Not that you know anything about that. Which,
You absolute fools, it's not.
Witcher nonsense.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever. Are you kidding me?
Hey Google, attack someone.
Let's attack Simeon because he's a jerk.
Happy trails.